Friends, in this lesson, we are going to do a graphic warm-up together. This is an exercise for your hand. To make your hand steady, confident, and controlled, you need to train it. And it's best to do it as often as possible. And to keep it from getting boring, you can come up with your own exercises. Hello, my dears. Now we're going to do a graphic warm-up together, an exercise to train your hand. Let's take a sketchbook for this. Now we're going to divide the page in half by eye. Do everything by eye, training both our hand and our sense of proportion. On this half, we're going to draw straight lines in different directions, horizontal lines, preferably at equal distances from each other. This will also train our eye. And pay attention that when we draw a line, we don't look at the tip of the pencil, but at the point where we want the line to end. And we draw the line in one smooth motion without stopping. We'll draw vertical lines as well, and you can do this in any order you like. I want to point out that we don't rotate the page. Our goal is to train the hand to work in any direction we need, including diagonal lines. And you draw however you want. You could even call this a creative exercise because everyone will end up with their own unique drawing. You decide for yourself when and where to turn, but the goal is to make a straight line. And of course, it's best not to go beyond the boundaries of a single line like this. Make the connections precise. This is also an extra way to keep control. Stop at the right moment. The distance between the lines can be small or large. It's up to you. Your drawing will depend on this. You set the task for yourself. Now I'll draw a line here. Change the direction of your hand. If the line wobbles a little, that's not a problem because we're drawing freehand, as they say, without using a ruler. And this kind of hand-drawn work actually has its own charm, since the line can be, as they say, alive in some places. You can get creative here. You can do it like this from the middle. So we finished one exercise. I suggest you practice drawing circles. Again, without using a compass or tracing around a round plate, as some people come up with to get around the task. All our hope is in our hand. So let's train it so that it won't let you down in any situation. And look, you can do it like this in one breath. For example, just like that, and you've closed the circle. There you go. That's one way to do it. You can also draw a kind of web like this. Lots and lots of lines. Like this, just pressing lightly. You keep turning the circle, and gradually your hand starts to get the right shape. And then you can press harder and trace over it. And I suggest you make a composition out of circles of different sizes, and of course, it's easier to draw a small circle, so you can draw circles of various sizes. Start with a small circle, then a bigger one, and the circles can overlap in some places or be drawn separately in others. And if, for example, you drew a circle that's not quite even, well, imagine it's a ball and the ball has deflated, you can inflate it. For instance, if it's lacking volume somewhere, you can just add a little bit, inflate the balloon. You can imagine that these are soap bubbles. It's a very beautiful sight when they overlap. They merge with each other, and here, for example, you can even draw a semicircle, just like that. one stroke. After all, you're creating your own composition. And look, I might not get a perfect circle right away, but I don't get upset. I just draw more lines where needed, as if I'm inflating this balloon. Where it's too bulging, on the contrary, I can trim it. And in the end, I arrive at the correct outlines. This way, you can extract the form from a large number of these searching movements. Or you can try to draw with a single line. But that's probably the highest level of skill. Once you train your hand, you'll be able to try drawing with a single line. Try to draw it. And if somewhere the circles intersect, it's always good to have some drawn separately as well. Well, my dears, you can do these kinds of warm-ups before each of our lessons. And of course, you can come up with your own. And I would be happy to see the exercises you come up with and adopt them myself.